Today's episode is brought to you from The Russell, a historic East Nashville church transformed into a one-of-a-kind boutique hotel. The Russell's mission is to give back to the Nashville community through their Rooms for Rooms program by donating a portion of your stay to local organizations who provide a safe haven for those in need in the Nashville community. I mean, seriously, what more can you want? This hotel is beautiful and they give back. Come on. Visit the Russell Nashville to book your experience today. That's RUSSELL Nashville.com to book your experience today. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of This Hits Different, hosted by yours truly, Riley Nelson. You guys, today I am so excited to have on one of my really good friends. Her name is Amelia Moore, and you probably are here because you know who she is. And if you're new to this podcast, hi everyone. My name is Riley Nelson. I host this show where I bring on your favorite up-and-coming artist, and I talk to them about their recent releases and the stories behind their songs. So if this is your first time, check out some of my other episodes. Welcome. Go ahead and hit that follow button and please share it with all your friends. Tag me in it. You can find me on Instagram at This Hits Different Podcast. And go ahead and tag that. All right. So before we jump into the episode today, I need to talk about something. It's something that I have done recently and I just need to get it off my chest. So if you follow me on Instagram on my personal account at RileyNelson18, you will know that I recently got back on Bumble. Yes, Bumble, the dating app. And, you know, it's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. And I don't know what I thought. I just thought, I'd been off the apps for over a year now, and maybe it's gotten better. And I have been proven wrong once again. And I stand by my decision in the first place to get off of dating apps because it is rough out here. So let me go ahead and just read you this conversation I had with this man. The audacity that men have is actually bizarre to me. I don't understand what is going through this man's head that he thinks that it's okay to say this. But let me just go ahead and read it to you real quick. All right, so on Bumble, as you know, you have to message first as the woman. And so I message him and we're chatting. We're going back and forth a little bit. We've only sent maybe 3 messages to each other back and forth before this man says this. He says, "Can I ask you for a favor?" And I responded, "If you ask me for feet pics, I'm out." That's kind of funny, kind of flirty, kind of witty. I'm just being goofy. This man responds back and he says, "I haven't eaten lunch today," with the eye emojis. Like the ones where the eyes are looking like you're trying to be a little thirsty. And I said his name and I said, "Wow, Bishop, we just matched. I could literally be a burglar." And he said, and I quote, "Ride my fucking face real quick." Let me say that one more time. Ride my fucking face real quick. What? Like when I tell y'all my jaw dropped, I was like, are you kidding me? And then he said, "And did you mean you?" Because I said that I could be a burglar. And he said, "I'm not scared of you, mama." And I said, "No, I actually could be a burglar. I could steal all of your stuff." And then I said, wow, chivalry really isn't dead. And at this point, I'm laughing because obviously it's so out of pocket. It's so gross, but it's also hilarious because it's great for the content. So, at the end of the day, I'm like, great, whatever. So then he responds back and he says, "LMAO, I've been celibate for a month and I'm over it for a couple of days. And I don't know what it is about work. You just get me so worked up and I can't do nothing about it. LOL, my fault. If this is crazy, mama, I was just trying something." And so me and my girlfriends are dying laughing. And we're trying to figure out, how can we fuck with this guy, and kind of, just be funny. So I respond back and I said, "Oh, so you just put out that easy?" Because I was thinking about calling him a whore. like men do to us. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like be goofy. So I'm like, oh, you just put out that easy? And he goes, I'm just trying to break the celibacy for a couple days and then get my head back on right, LMAO. And I mean, you got an innocent look. I'd probably be easy as fuck for you. And then I said, I'm scared. And he goes, you shouldn't be. It's been a minute, so you know I can't go too crazy. But I'll make you nut for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, at least he's a king. He's going to finish me. I'm so sorry. My parents, if you're listening, you can skip the intro. I should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, so this man straight up said this. I'm dying laughing, but I'm also in like such disbelief. Like, what are men? What is this? This behavior is crazy. But like, does it work? I need people to respond and tell me if this has ever worked, because I just cannot see a world in which it has. But you know what? He's doing it. So maybe in the past it has. I don't know. But the funny thing is that it says in his bio that he's looking for a relationship, which is very clearly not true. Oh my God. And here's another thing I found. I've noticed a few things while being on the apps. So obviously that whole conversation happened. Really tragic, but really great for content. So like, am I mad about it? No, I'm not. But I've noticed a few things being on the apps. So the first one is that all the men on there say that they're looking for relationships. I've only seen like 3 accounts saying that they're looking for something casual. And I don't know if that's a lie. I don't know what the deal is with that. But I'm actually very curious if it's just like a manipulation tactic or if it has something to do with, you know how you can filter out things and you can filter them to be like people only looking for a relationship. Like that's one of the only things I can think of. It doesn't really make sense to me why all the guys are looking for relationships when they're clearly not. They just want to hook up, and that's okay. But I don't understand why they're saying they want a relationship. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. So I thought that I might have better luck this time, and I was completely wrong. And the other thing that I've noticed is that anytime I go to give a guy my number, he always doesn't respond. And I'm trying to understand what is the point of that. It doesn't really make sense to me, because why are we going to pen pal on the app? Like, is me giving them my number like too much of a commitment and saying that I'm actually looking for a relationship or something? If you're a man and you're listening to this, I need a response, because I need to understand why it is every time I give a guy my number after we've been messaging a bunch, they don't text. And then there was another guy I was texting and I was like, yeah, like we should go get drinks sometime. And then he never answered. And I'm so confused because I'm like, what's the point? We're on a dating app. And this is the part when my parents really don't need to listen. But I will put out. But all you have to do is treat me and make me feel like I'm a human being. Like, is that such a crazy concept? Like, I'm just not a hole for you. I don't know. It's so crazy. I cannot believe the audacity of men on these apps. And you know what? I want to hear from the men. Are women like this too? Or is this just like a girl thing? Like, what is going on with this? I truly don't understand. So if someone can answer this for me, I would love nothing more. But yeah, I thought that Bumble conversation was hilarious. And even though it's tragic and really sad that our generation is like this, it's also so funny for content. And so I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because I had a really good time fucking with this guy and messing with him. But yeah, that's really all I have. You know, obviously I'm back on the apps. Probably won't be on them much longer. And yeah, that's really all I have on that. So let's go ahead and get into my interview with Amelia Moore. Before we do, a few housekeeping things. Everything is linked below in the show notes. So if you want to find me or find Amelia and listen to her music, all of it is going to be there available to you. So yeah, that's really all I have. Follow me on Instagram at This Hits Different Podcast. You can watch the episode on YouTube. You can listen on Apple, and you can watch and listen on Spotify. You can also listen anywhere else you get your podcast. I have quite a few platforms that I disperse against. So there's that. All right, so let's get into my interview with Amelia. Amelia Moore is an up-and-coming pop singer-songwriter. She is kicking ass. She is currently on tour with Lolo Zouaï, and she doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon. She just released her EP, Teaching a Robot to Love, which obviously we will talk about because I was there for the whole thing. I witnessed all the story and it was so much fun. Okay, it wasn't fun. It was kind of traumatic for us, but you know what? She made great art out of it and we love it. She has a bunch of singles coming out soon and she is popping off on TikTok. Like I said, everything is linked. You can find her at I Cry at Work. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the interview with the one, the only Amelia Moore. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment that we have all been waiting for. I am joined here today with Amelia Moore, and this is your chance to say hello.
Oh my God, hello, it's me. Hi.
Yes, welcome to This Hits Different.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you on today.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Amelia is in town. She's in Nashville. She's on tour right now because she's a freaking badass.
Me, I'm a badass. We're on tour. We're doing it, and we're here. I'm so happy to be back.
We're a few glasses of wine in, so
don't mind us.
This is going to be an interesting episode, but we love it. We're here for it. So we are here today to talk about her latest release, Name Everywhere.
My song, Name Everywhere, just came out like literally this past weekend.
Yeah.
And here we
Friday.
are talking about it. Oh my God.
It's so crazy. This is like such a full circle moment because Amelia and I have been friends for a very long time. You were my first friend at Belmont.
You were my first friend at Belmont. In our little class, I remember it like it was yesterday.
You know, I found some videos the other day of...
No. Enough. Enough.
And I will share them. I'm kidding. Just ruin your brand entirely.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine with my brown hair.
The short brown Dora bob.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
The Dora bob.
So I found some videos the other day. I was going through my old Facebook page with my vocals account.
Scary.
And I found some videos of like you playing the piano for me. And I was like, hi, I'm Riley. This is Amelia. And
freshman year.
We're going to play.
Little babies. Just
literally
like figuring out in college, like not having an idea what we were doing.
I know. And I'm like, and we're going to play Make You Feel My Love by Bob Dylan. But the Adele version, of course.
My tempo was probably like so bad.
No, you did so good.
Oh, okay, work.
If I remember correctly, you have, what's it called? Perfect pitch? Yeah.
I have like really good
relative pitch.
I'm not like Charlie Puth out here, like, you know.
She's pretty close.
That's a B flat. Like, I don't know what that is, but if I hear, like, I know C very well. I can hear C.
Middle C.
Middle C, I can hear.
Sing it. Prove it.
C. This is a C. Middle C.
We're going to fact check that later.
Fact check it, girl. Because that's a middle fucking C if I've
middle
ever heard
C.
one. Middle
we
C.
love.
Period. We love her.
No, I always remember because, like, in class, like, you would just like hop on and start playing the piano, and I was like, this girl really knows what she's doing.
I don't know.
I'm out here with like very limited knowledge of music theory.
Yeah, I think I got a lot of my pitch in my ears from just growing up playing violin. I played violin for a really long time, so I was just like around music and notes a lot growing up. But
question, can you still play the violin?
Very badly, sure. Like I can definitely whip out a little twinkle, twinkle, little star on you.
That's hot.
But anything more advanced than that, no. I will embarrass myself. So no, I'm going to go with no.
I can still play Titanic. And I still not Jurassic, but I did know Jurassic Park, the theme song on violin. But I always remember go G G G G F G G F G.
Baddies play violin. Baddies play violin. You heard it here first.
Idea. You should whip out the violin at some point on tour.
No, okay. On tour, that's like a risk for sure because I'm definitely not out here like going to impress all of the girls. But I would love to arrange my own string part for a song one day, like production wise. Like let me record it, let me mess up, like let me get the best takes and comp them all together and record my strings. But I'm whipping it out on stage is like a risk for sure.
I think that you should. Have you ever played the violin on any of your tracks?
No, I would love to.
Do you have a violin?
No.
Someone get this girl a violin right now.
Buy me a violin. Sugar daddy. Somebody get me a violin. Thank you.
That would be so hot. Like imagine like
really
you're just like
cool.
singing and then it like goes into an interlude and someone hands you a violin and you just start ripping.
That would be really hot. Maybe you're right.
Amelia,
Manage me.
don't even
You
get
heard
me
it here
started.
first.
You want a tour manager? I will be your tour manager.
Oh,
You need a familiar face on road? Here I am.
It's you.
I'm
Here
not
we are.
kidding though, but
I know you're not. We're gonna figure it out.
I'm like-
Whenever I'm on my big girl tour and I can make the decisions, it's gonna be me and the girls.
yeah. No, I'm not kidding. Bring me on the road. I am like itching to get on a tour. And I'm like, someone just bring me. I'll do all the bitch work.
Girl.
I'll find the best coffee in all the cities.
Let's go. Okay.
We'll go to Frothy in every
Literally,
city.
as long as you're more organized than I am, I don't give a fuck. Like, just
I love you.
I'm so messy, and
I can
like
say with a guarantee that I am more organized than you. I love you.
I misplace my shit all the time though. Like that's the tea. I like my girl Megan is constantly like, I'm like, Megan, I think I left my necklace on the bus. And she's like, yeah, you also left your fucking water bottle and like 5 other things that you need.
And your ID and your social security card.
I
your
had
birth
to
certificate.
whenever we were crossing the border to get into Canada at the beginning of tour, I knew I had to have my passport and I was like, Megan, I'm giving it to you. I don't want to be responsible for it. Like,
Do y'all have like a safe or something? Maybe you shouldn't say this on live, but I'm like so curious. Like,
In the
do you have a
bus?
safe on the bus to like protect that
if we
stuff?
do, I don't know where it is. And maybe that's for
Tea.
the best.
Honestly, it probably is. You're like, what's the code? And they're like, we're not going to give it to you. No shot.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm a messy girl. What can I say? Thank God, like tour managers exist and people like you who are organized exist because artists would not exist without those people.
I'm going to pitch myself real quick.
Okay.
I double as a makeup artist
You're right.
and maybe you're going to do your makeup for tomorrow's show,
Yeah.
potentially. I
would
really
love
want
that.
to.
I know,
Like,
it'd be
I
fun.
like love to do like fun stuff. And all the artists that I get are like, give me like a
Boring.
natural glam. Natural glam is great. It's beautiful. It's good for a music video. But I don't want to do that all the time.
No.
I'm like, let me do some crazy like
Something
graphic
fun.
liner on you. Amelia,
How far is this house from the basement east?
15 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Where?
So we're recording this as if the
Oh.
song came out already, but we're recording it 2 weeks in advance. So Amelia is currently here on tour because she's,
I'm playing
like I
a
said,
show
a
in
badass.
Nashville
And she's
tomorrow.
staying with me, so we get to have a sleepover
Yay!
2 nights in a row.
like old times.
It is. And so I'm
You were marketing yourself. You were
I
saying,
was.
I should go on tour. You double as a makeup
I
artist.
double as a makeup artist.
Right.
I'll shoot a ton of BTS. I'll
Hot.
create content for you.
With the AI.
No, I can like physically do it too. But you know, the AI does make it easy.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, I just found this platform. TikTok told me about it. Thank you, TikTok. And thank you, algorithm, for pushing this video to me. But basically, I upload all the long form video from my episodes into this platform. The AI will like find keywords and find things that are trending and then make videos out of it and make it for short form. So y'all know I complain on this podcast a lot about how I get carpal tunnel and editing is just such a bitch, and this just cut it down
Makes it
significantly.
So much easier.
So that's so hot, and I'm gonna be uploading everything. And if you're watching my content from here on out, AI created it.
Thank you, AI. We love you, AI.
Okay, so let's talk about your latest release.
Let's talk about it.
Tell me all about it.
Name Everywhere, girl. I love this song so much, and I've loved her for a very long time. Honestly, we wrote it like just about a year ago.
Okay, and why this one?
Why this one? I feel like Name Everywhere is a really good in-between song from FUMD, my most recent single. She was very loud and like kind of hyper poppy with my homie Jaden on it. He like brought this like rock alternative pop like edge to it.
I would say there's definitely like more of like a heavy rock to it, which we know on this podcast I love because I love rock music.
Riley co-signs my last single.
I
Let's
do.
go.
That means literally nothing, but I do like it a lot.
But she does. Yeah. FUMD came out and that was definitely the most left music wise I feel like I'm going to go this year. So Name Everywhere feels like a good like we're reeling it in just a little bit.
I feel like it still kind of has like those aspects a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that like heavy techno sound is still there kind of towards the end of the song.
Yeah. It's pretty dreamy. She's a lyric girl. I love all of the lyrics on this song, but she's drama, you know. It's kind of an intense listen, but I think if you're like really in the mood to listen to a song like this will be the one that you choose. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's so good, and it's so like it sounds like you, and it sounds like it would belong on your EP.
In my universe, yeah.
Was this ever in consideration? Or I guess you wrote it after the EP release, because that came out
This
a
was
year
written,
ago.
This was written after the EP was finished.
It's Teaching a Robot to Love.
Teaching a Robot to Love came out in June of 2022.
Doesn't matter. It's out.
Yeah,
Go listen to it.
Go listen to it. But this song I actually started with not Miss. He's totally a full ass man. I just call everyone Miss and Girl. With Schwebel. I started this with Schwebel.
Schweebs.
Yeah.
I don't think I've talked about Schwebel on this podcast before.
We still do, but we used to make so much music together like all the time in LA. And this song started with just us two. Completely different. Like the verses were written completely different. We were really just messing around, and I knew that I really, really loved the lyric. I swear I see your name everywhere, even if it's not there. I thought that was like a gag. I was like, oh my God, the girls are going to love and eat this up and relate to this.
Well, it's very relatable, because it's like, you know how whenever you get in a breakup and you're like, all of a sudden their car is everywhere.
Yes.
And you have like that stomach drop moment of like, oh shit, is this my ex?
Yes.
And it's like the same kind of vibe.
Like fucking dirty
or
Air
like
Forces. Or
your
like, oh my
song
God.
comes on.
Yeah.
Or the flip-flops
like,
and cargo combination. You're like, you see flip-flops and cargos and you're like, oh my God, is that my ex?
You can't get rid of it. It's like you're trying to be fierce and experience new things and go out with your girls and like move on, right? Because that's ultimately after a breakup. Once you reach the point, you're like, okay, this is over. I know it's over. I need to get over this now. But your brain, I feel like there's something when you've been with a person for a longer period of time, or you've been messing around with them, whatever, when the situationship has like gone on way longer than it should have.
We've all been there.
Your brain is like used to thinking about this person all the time.
Yes.
And I remember just getting out of the situationship that I was in and trying to just live my life. But it was literally like my brain was not letting my heart do what it needed to do, because it was just like, we're used to thinking about this person all the time. Like, oh, this reminds us of us, and oh, we should text them this, and this is like the color of this, and whatever. I'm like,
and you like see a TikTok and you're like, oh, I want to send it to this person.
yeah, but no, girl. You can't. But that's what the song is about. And I wrote it we started with Schwebel, and then I brought my BFF and co-writer J-Bach in. J-Bach, I love you. And Pink Slip and Inverness in at the very end. And I'm really, really proud of it. I think vocally it's one of my favorites too, to just, hear my voice shine. And yeah, I'm really happy it's out.
I just want to say, I love whenever you belt. Like, I feel like it took you a while to get comfortable with belting.
I think so
because
too.
I remember whenever we were in music school, you always would sing like very like melodically, and you would do all these fun runs. And then I'm like, Amelia, you have the pipes, like just at the end of the song, like give us like a nice belt to finish it off. And I remember you always used to say like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know. And like hearing you like finally like embrace that, like your belt is so seamless, which this is just, I'm starting to get technical here, but like,
my vocal
like
coach.
No, everyone that's listening is like, what is a belt? A belt is basically whenever you sing really loud and powerful.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the song, whenever she sings, even if you're not there, and it's like a loud belt moment.
She's loud. She's very emotional. She's like yelling. Also, Pink Slip, my producer, loves to do this thing where he will put the key of the song in like the highest key that he can until my voice will like literally not be able to do it.
Crack.
Yeah. And he did that with a couple of my other songs too. Like I Feel Everything is definitely the highest I could have sang that song.
That one's high.
It's high. Or
I've
even
tried to sing that
Crybaby.
one in the car, and I can't do it.
I don't sing it in that key live for
like,
sure.
It's head voice for sure. I'm like
at
borderline opera.
At my shows, you're gonna hear that shit 3 keys down beneath the original. Okay, and I don't want to hear shit about it.
Period.
But I actually heard Demi Lovato say this one thing in an interview that I loved a lot, because she was talking about how people were giving her hate or, you know, whatever type of comments about not being able to sing the record the same way that it was recorded. But she was saying, like, the record lasts forever. So you might as well, like, give it the best version that you can possibly make it.
Yeah.
And, you know, the live performances, the shows, like, those videos come and go and that audio comes and goes. But what's on Spotify, on Apple Music, on DSPs is the version that's going to last and be in the world forever for people to hear. So you might as well, like, sing it as high as you can. Even if you can only do it that one time in the studio, just, like, make it that moment and it'll be what it is.
Yeah. And I feel like everyone on tour, you got to bump it down, especially because, like, there's a lot of factors environmentally.
Yeah.
And, like, any other instrument, they can just pick up and play whenever.
Right.
But the vocals is so dependent on your body, how you're feeling that day. Like, some days you may be feeling kind of off and you got to bump it down another key. Like, that is not uncommon when it comes to touring. Mm-hmm. But people are so quick to judge and be like, oh, you can't sing. It's like, no, I can. Like, what you're hearing on the record is me.
I'm doing like 5 shows in a row, girl. Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, that came out of my ass.
You sing it.
Not the elbow pop. Do it one more time. Do it one more time for the content.
You sing it. Still made a noise.
My elbow's just cracking.
We'll fix it in post.
No one's gonna know. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the song, and definitely want to talk about it a little bit more and get, like, the tea behind, like, the lyrics and, like, what made you want to write it. But I want to start from the beginning. How did you get into music? How did you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
Wow. I am really, really lucky to say that I'm, like, randomly one of the people who just has known what they wanted to do for forever. I remember just loving music at such a young age. Like, I started playing violin when I was 5, grew up in church, like, doing theater, and, like, I just remember always wanting to be on stage. I used to want to be a Broadway girl because I was Annie whenever I was, like, 11 years old.
That seems to be a recurring theme on this show. Everyone that's come on is like, yeah, I was Annie.
Oops. Okay. So I'm not, like...
You're not special.
Original. Yeah, I'm not special at all.
Hang on, I want to double check something real quick.
Okay.
These levels are looking a little odd, and I want to make sure. No, we're good.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Work. Okay.
Sorry.
You're good. You're gonna sit down.
I was just
and I'm
looking,
gonna
and I was
resume.
like, yours looks a little low, and I want to make sure that it's not pulling from
no,
my
we're
mic.
good.
And I accidentally plugged that into input 3 because that would have been horrendous.
We would have had to start all over.
I would have actually killed myself.
all over.
But you know what? I'm a professional, and I don't make mistakes.
No, here we are, not making any mistakes.
Meanwhile, my computer shut off last time and stopped recording.
Oh no! Wait, no, we're here. It's doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was Annie whenever I was 11. I thought I wanted
unoriginal.
I thought I wanted to be on Broadway, and I joined.
I cannot even fathom the idea of you on Broadway.
Dude. It was just a fantasy for me, for sure. I realized at a later age, I think whenever I was like 14 or 15, I was a part of this, like, theater performance company in Atlanta, and I was doing these shows, these variety shows, and I was acting and singing a lot, like, getting ready for Broadway. And I realized, I was like, you know, I'm performing in front of people, I'm acting like I'm somebody else, and I'm singing somebody else's songs. Wouldn't it be fire if I could just be myself and, like, write my own stuff? Hello, ding, ding, ding. That's what an artist and a songwriter does. So I started writing super, super horrible songs, and I just fell in love with songwriting so much. I felt like, as every 14, 15-year-old does, so misunderstood by the whole entire world. And I felt like...
It's not a phase, Mom.
I felt so just like... nobody gets me, no one understands, I'm different, and I have really big dreams and whatever. And I would just write. I would just sit at my piano and teach myself One Direction songs and learn the chords and, like, write my own songs over them. And, you know, that turned into songwriting, and then the songs kept getting better, and I had this really amazing mentor and performance coach, Dacia. I love you. I still work with her to this day. She helped me get ready for this tour and, you know, for a lot of other performances I've done. But she just helped me really believe in myself and believe that becoming an artist wasn't like a crazy, you know, unhinged decision, and that I could keep a good head on my shoulders and still be successful as an artist. And, you know, the right pieces just continued to fall into place, and I started meeting the right people. I met Austin. We started making music together.
ASTN Music.
He's my now BF.
We're
which
gonna
is
get to
hilarious.
that.
We'll get to that. But if I never met him through being on a random mission trip and meeting one of his like,
Wait, that's how you met him?
yeah.
Wait, I thought that y'all just met in LA.
No,
We're gonna get to that. Okay, keep going with your story. I'm gonna bring this back.
Okay. I like met a mutual friend who introduced me to my first music homie, Austin, who had a manager, JP, who introduced me to Pink Slip, who's now my producer. We made all of my music together. Pink Slip and I kept making music. You know, I met the right manager, Brian Washington, B-Wash. He got me my label deal, and it's just been off to the races ever since then. So
Yeah. And you've been really killing it lately. I feel like, and obviously your whole life you had been working towards this goal. We went to college together.
Yeah.
She was my first friend at Belmont. We said that already. But obviously you had been making strides to pursue music as a career. But what was that moment that you decided this is ultimately what I want to do? Like, did you have one moment, or did you just kind of always know? Because I know you said that you did, but like, was there like something where you're like, wait, I am good enough?
That's a really good question. I don't know if there was a single moment where I was like watching. I feel like I've heard some of my artist homies being like, oh my God, I saw this performer on TV at the Grammys for the first time, and that's when I knew I had to be a performer. I don't know if there was a specific moment for me. I do know that Dacia, my creative executionist, really helped me like mold what exactly my dream as an artist was. And I mean, committing to move out to LA was really scary. I feel like once I first got there as a green 19-year-old, like it became very real to me very, very quickly. So I don't know. It's kind of just like a blur the past couple years, like really committing to it. But it's been a crazy journey. I think meeting Brian, my manager now, was a really big moment for me because he's worked with some of my favorite artists. So to get the validation from him that he thinks I'm the shit, he believes in me, I was like, okay, we're like off to the races now.
You're like, I'm good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a moment, like my moment when I was like, oh, I actually am good enough. And this is like I don't know, this is going to sound like conceited, but like when I got into Belmont and Berkeley and that choice was mine, I was like,
that's hot.
Wait, like I had always sang, I was always a music girl, but like having that validation externally and being like, I got into a university because of my voice was like such a game changer for me.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. All right. Next question. So dating. ASTN Music. I gotta stop calling him that. I'm so sorry, Austin.
I love it because that's like what I call him to my
I know.
friends.
I'm so sorry. His name is Austin, but it is spelled ASTN. Go check him out.
Yeah.
Y'all started dating in November.
Yes.
How is it going?
It's going so good. I'm obsessed. He's the best. Love you, bae.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Does it bother him that you still write all of your songs about your situationship?
I think like clearly all of the songs that are out of mine right now are about situations that have occurred in the past.
Yes, we've all been there.
But there are a lot of songs that aren't out yet that are fully, completely about him. And I'm really obsessed with them. And I'm excited for people to hear a different side of my love life this upcoming year because she's not just a heartbroken girly, okay?
She's 30, flirty, and thriving.
Right. We're thriving.
She's not 30 years old.
We're like having a cute time. You know, we're out of this phase. Also, I feel like because he's an artist too and he writes about whatever he writes about, there's just a mutual understanding of what the both of us do. And I'm not mad at him for having another girl in his music video. He understands that I'm probably going to have another guy in my music video, or that we're going to write about certain things or whatever. We just get it. So,
and y'all have a duet out together.
We do. Next door.
Period. And if you haven't heard it, you definitely should, but you probably have because it is all over TikTok. Oh my God, I wanted to ask about TikTok as well. And this is just me externally viewing your success and your growth. But I feel like 2020 was a really big year for you. During the pandemic, you were one of the artists who really used TikTok to your advantage. Do you think that had a play in your success now?
Yeah, absolutely. If I wasn't posting my original music on the internet and building a platform for myself there, I think it would have been way more difficult to get myself the label deal I ended up getting, which I'm so thankful for.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just the name of the game now, girls. Like,
it really is. And you hopped on it early when most people weren't. And so I feel like you got in at a really good time. Like, I always think back and I'm like, man, if I had only known what I was doing at this time.
Girl, I feel like I should have gone on it earlier, even though
I mean,
you know, I don't know. But I'm very thankful for all of the Judies, all my girls that are following me on TikTok. And it's definitely been a really big part of, you know, choosing what songs come next. And like, that's a really, really amazing way to just connect with your fans and like listen to what they're loving from you.
Yeah. And you get to like connect directly to them.
Yeah.
And you get to talk and engage with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like now too, you can't do anything music wise, like get like any kind of deal if you don't already have that following. And you were kind of like a like new explorer in that, because you got in on it before everyone else did, I feel like. And that's why, I mean, obviously it's not why you blew up, but I feel like it really did contribute, because they were like, oh, this girl's like actually legit.
No, absolutely.
And she's doing her stuff. And don't get me wrong, there are people who blow up on TikTok who are not that great. Amelia is not one of them. Amelia Moore is not one of them. I gotta call you by your full artist name so people know.
Yes, let them know. I mean, it's definitely a very interesting state that the music industry is in. I feel like it's less about talent now, and labels are signing audiences over artists. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it's also like it's hard to, because like you can see from the business standpoint, like why you would want to do that, because you're like, oh, this person already has people. Yeah. This is a safer investment for me.
For sure.
There's already people willing to listen to what they have to say. I don't have to start from the ground up. But it's also created like such a toxic environment for artists.
Sometimes
who
the music isn't even that good. Like,
I'm
not gonna name names at all, because
I'm not gonna name names, but
but we name names like secretly.
No, I don't name drop on this podcast. If you want to, you can.
No, we won't. Not this
but
time.
I like to protect the identities of those who do me wrong for some reason.
Like, TikTok has really shaped the landscape of everything that's happening right now, and I'm very interested to see what it looks like in 3 years. Yeah, because I don't think a lot of these like TikTok girls are going to be around much longer.
Especially with like the whole like TikTok ban and stuff. That's stressful, but I think it looks like it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know.
So
we'll see.
TikTok is here to stay. TikTok hates me. I need to start another account. That's like I really do, because I'm over it. Because my account has gotten like no traction. Yeah. So we're gonna try another one and see what happens.
Who cares? F it.
So, with dating, we can expect some love songs from you coming out soon.
Absolutely, you can expect some love songs from me.
What's a good timeline? When can we expect to hear that?
Ooh.
Months, years.
I'm really definitely not years. Oh my God, that's crazy. I definitely want to be really consistent with my releases this year. So
can we expect a debut album coming soon?
So,
Like I can't say, but I write a lot of songs.
No, I'll give you the tea. So I think
you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. This is the TEA from me, Amelia Moore. And I think for the rest of this year, I'm just going to put out singles and that will like come together as a project to tell a story.
I love that. You did that with your EP release too.
Yeah.
And it was very successful.
Thank you. Was really, really fun. I love teaching Robot to Love, and that was such a great era. And again, I'm so excited for people to hear more of my personality outside of getting my heart absolutely fucking stepped on.
You're like, actually, like, I've gone to therapy. I'm a little more well-rounded.
Like, girl,
I'm in a healthy relationship now.
We had a moment and it came and went, and it's time to
I know, and everyone's like so behind because they're just now hearing about it. So they're like, who hurt you? And you're like, oh, this is actually like
I'm fine.
You're like, this is a few years ago.
I know, I'm okay. But I think potentially debut album 2024. I already know what I want it to be called. I know what it's going to be about. I have it all like in my mind. In my vagina.
Robots.
No more robots. Ew, we're over that.
We have empaths from here on out.
That was an era, and it's done. We've closed the chapter. That was just a moment in time.
Yeah. And then one last thing I want to touch on before we wrap this interview up. You are on tour right now.
Yeah.
And how is that going? What is life on the road like?
Tour is so good. It's so exciting. You're in a new city every fucking day, and I'm so lucky to have fans at every one of these shows that, you know, I get to talk to after my set. It's really, really exciting. And Lolo is amazing. I've been a fan of hers for forever. So it's really like an honor to have somebody that you look up to want to take you on the road and show you off. Like, that's super, super fierce to me. I love her. Thank you, Lolo. Love you. Mwah. But it's definitely like a really big, we were talking about this earlier. It's just like a lot. It's exhausting emotionally, physically, mentally. There are days where playing a show in front of people is the last thing I want to do, and I just want to crawl in bed and like have a breakdown. But the show is on the schedule, girl, so you have to flip the switch and fucking get out there and do it. And it's really, really hard, but you know, I'm learning a lot about myself and what I need to have a good performance and have a good day and have peace around so much chaos and around so much people all the time. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm learning a lot, and I couldn't be more thankful to be on tour right now.
So what would be your high of tour so far and your low of tour so far?
Oh my God. It's so funny because they are both in the same day. I can't remember if I was talking to you about this earlier whenever we were catching up, but we played Boston this past week, and for some reason, girl, I don't know if it was the caffeine from my matcha or like I didn't sleep well or whatever it was. I was just feeling very, very, very mentally not there and extremely anxious and like dissociating, like very strange mental day for me. And I was sitting in the green room and I was like, okay, it's 6:30. I go on at 8. Let me just do my makeup, and that'll like take my mind off of everything, and I'll just focus on being cute. And I do my makeup. That didn't fucking work, bitch, like at all. It just made it worse. So I take
you're crying and you're in makeup and you're trying not to smear it.
Exactly.
But honestly, if it did smear, it'd be kind of on brand.
Kind of might be a vibe, right? Like I cry at work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like take my peppermint oil and my bottle of water outside in the parking lot. It's cold out. It feels good. I was getting some fresh air, but like fully crying in the parking lot, like at the venue in Boston where we were. And I was on the phone with my homie J-Bach, who I mentioned earlier I write a bunch of my songs with. And I was like, okay, girl, I'm going to complain to you for 3 minutes about what I'm feeling right now. And then you're going to tell me about literally anything else and just change the subject and get my mind off of this. And he was telling me some really funny things. And I started to like calm myself down and just take some deep breaths. And 8 p.m. rolls around. I walk out. I'm doing my first couple songs, and like the best crowd of tour so far, by far. Like Boston was just so welcoming, and that's exactly the energy that I needed. Everyone was so loud and just encouraging, and immediately I just felt like all my anxiety just like wipe away. And it was like the most amount of time that I spent talking to fans after my set too, and it was just a really special night because I needed that really, really bad.
Yeah. What is it like getting to connect with your fans and actually getting to see people who are there supporting you? Because with the podcast, it's a weird way of performing where you have to have the energy, but like you don't have an audience to feed off of.
Totally.
And like I have to be responsible for keeping the energy up and keeping the interview going. And it's a weird response. And I forget sometimes that I'm even talking to people because we're sitting here in my room with a ring light, my phone, and my equipment.
Yeah.
And I got recognized a few weeks ago and it like made me cry because I was like, oh my God, like I forget that I'm actually talking to people. Like I forget like people listen to this. And it's such a weird thing to not be able to engage directly with my audience.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what it's like getting to see the faces of people who support you.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very special. Even playing songs that are unreleased, you get to see people's reaction real time. Like if that was a TikTok, like if I'm the TikTok singing the song for them for the first time, I get to see them watch the TikTok for the first time and like see their reactions to it. So, I mean, that's really special, but also like everyone's so sweet. Somebody gave me flowers last night. Somebody else like made a Lego version of me and gave it to me a couple weeks ago. Like
I saw the picture on your story of everyone wearing the wigs.
Yeah, everyone pulled
so
up in
cute.
orange wigs. Like it's really special. And just hearing people's stories about how they found my music or how my music has helped them get through a situation or whatever, it never gets old. It never, ever, ever gets old. It's really special.
I can't even imagine. And before we wrap up, I know I literally just said that, but I just thought about something and that I do want to talk about that. I think it would be kind of fun and fresh and cute. Okay, when it comes to your look and it comes to like branding yourself as an artist, how did you find that? How did you find your look? Is it just about like going crazy and crazier each time? Or are you like sitting down in meetings? Like how did you brand yourself and market yourself to be who you are today?
Whoa. That's a big one, girl.
I'm sorry. I like really just came up.
I do think the hair is a really big part of my brand. And what started as the original shape of my hair, which was just like bangs bob.
That was always your look.
Very fierce.
When I met her, she had a short brown bob with bangs.
The door bob.
The door bob. Which
Scary.
honestly, like,
it was cute.
I love your natural hair
cute.
color.
Thank you.
And then you bleached it.
I did
and you went
blonde.
blonde for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you moved to LA and it was just like, bitch, I'm a
all
tangerine
downhill
now.
from there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My hairstylist is amazing. Rolando, I love you. I just went to my haircut one day with him and I was like, do whatever you want. I don't care. I just want something new. And he was like, this is so fun because I know exactly what I want to do. And he just gave me the like super short blonde with a very like blunt bob, and I just fell in love with that. And I went orange a while later. Girl, I don't even know why. I was just like really fucking with the color
You've
orange.
always been orange. Like that's like a whole nother episode. Like I obviously you and I can talk for hours because we do all the time. Every time we catch up, it's like 3 hours of
nonstop.
How's your life?
Yeah.
Like let's catch up. And then but you've always been obsessed with orange. Like, I kid you not, in her old apartment on campus, she had like a whole closet, and then she had her closet of like normal like staple pieces and like everyday things, and then she had a rack in her room that was just filled with neon orange and you used to steal the parking cones, and you've always been orange. So like the orange hair is like really on brand for you.
Yeah.
That one I didn't like. I saw that one coming.
I feel like because I have orange hair now, I don't have to wear orange because literally, bitch, in college I was fucking wearing orange all the time. Then the nails are orange, yeah. But the hair is definitely a big part of the branding for me too. But
and the bleached eyebrows. You should dye your eyebrows orange. Have you done that before?
So it's really funny that you say that because I've had to re-bleach them so many times since being on the road because I'll get sweaty on stage. and the dye from my bangs will like leak down into my eyebrows and like turn them light orange.
Wait, your sweat is orange. Like she bleeds
It's
orange,
bad.
guys.
Or just in the shower, like if I'm not using cold water, which you're supposed to on dyed hair if you want the color to last longer. If the water's hot, it will just like drip down onto my forehead and into my eyebrows and they'll be orange. So I don't know. That like
you just
might
have
be a
bleach on
thing.
hand.
Yeah, I do. I literally have it in my duffel for me to bleach my eyebrows while we're, doing these shows. But I Cry at Work is also just a really big part of the brand. Like if people can take anything away from me and my music or my page or whatever, we're just being emotional and it's okay. So embrace your emotions, cry at work, cry at home, cry everywhere you can.
Period.
Like let's make it, regular. Let's make it more normal for women and men to just embrace their emotions wherever they go.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is a good place to wrap up. Amelia, I love you so much.
Love you.
She's just one of my bestest friends, and you're someone who like will always be in my life.
Yeah.
Like every time you come in through Nashville or wherever I am, and then when I'm touring one day with my show, I'll bring you out if you're in town. Like
absolutely.
Guys, this is not going to be the last of Amelia and I.
We've
been friends
anywhere.
we have a 5-year friendship now. Isn't that weird?
No, that's wild.
Like it feels like freshman year of college was yesterday, and it was literally 5 years ago.
Wait, how old are we now?
I'm 23. You're 22.
And we met.
You were 17. I was 18. Amelia was a little homeschooled freak.
I had a Samsung.
Oh my God, you had the Samsung. Dude, there's so much that we could talk about. We're going to have to do a part 2 one day. And we're going to like really deep dive on young dorky Amelia and how I picked her up and I took her to her first party.
You did.
Yeah.
And then I made out with that weird guy.
Yeah. And then I spent my birthday with her and her family who are just amazing. Like we go way back and we're definitely going to have to talk about that on another episode because this one is running long. But I love you so much. Go listen to Name Everywhere. It is out now. It is available. You've probably already heard it if you're listening to this episode. And I should have said this in the beginning. Maybe I'll say it in the intro and we can cut it out. But if you're new here, hi guys, I'm Riley Nelson. I host this show where I bring on artists. If you're here to watch my beautiful friend Amelia Moore, I'm Riley. I host a podcast called This Hits Different, which you are listening to right now. And I bring on artists and we talk about their songs. We get all the tea. We get all of everything. And you really get the insight that you would never get because I'm pretty close with all my guests. And so they share more with me than they would share with any other interviewer.
Can confirm. Can confirm it's true.
Debut album coming potentially 2024, allegedly. Please, Capitol Records, do not come for me.
Please don't come for us.
All right, Amelia, tell everyone where they can find you. Plug all the things. This is your time.
You can find me anywhere on the internet at I Cry at Work. My artist name is Amelia Moore. Find me, bitch. Listen to my shit. Fuck with me. Rock with me. That's it, I think.
Do you have a website?
Oh my God, yeah. AmeliaMoore.com. Or wait, no.
Oh.
Is it ICryAtWork.com? Girl, I don't know. Who's looking at my website?
I don't know. I'll link it. Just
if you're looking at my website, no, you're not. Just go to my TikTok.
Well, if they want to find you on tour,
yeah,
I guess they can find that on TikTok.
Click,
but like,
click the link in my bio, girl. It's all in the everything
link
you need is in
baby.
the link in my bio. Okay, that's all.
Website. Who's like? What is that? Grandpa
if you're
dinosaur?
going to my website, no, you're not.
Fuck off. What are you, a boomer?
Yeah, okay, boomer. You need my website? Okay.
Oh my God.
It's in my bio. Find everything you need to
at I
in
Cry
my
at
bio,
Work.
honey. At I Cry at Work. Mwah.
We love it. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at This Hits Different Podcast. You can go to my website, Boomer, www.thishitsdifferent.com. And you can find my personal accounts on TikTok at RileyNelson13, on Instagram at RileyNelson18. We're working on it. I know. I don't want the numbers either. But you know what? I'm not big enough yet. So help me out. Share this podcast. Do all the things. Rate, review, subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Bye. Mwah.
Today's episode was edited and produced by Aiden McKernan. You can find him on Instagram at Aiden C. McKernan. He will also be linked below in the show notes. The This Hits Different theme song was produced by Zach Jordan. You can find him on Instagram at Zach.jrdn. He will also be linked below in the show notes. Today's episode was written and hosted by me, Riley Nelson. And you can find me on Instagram at RileyNelson18. I know I just said that 10 minutes ago, but here we are. Thank you guys so much for listening.